morning. Let's get this going, huh? We do have a weird break there, right there, and then it picks up. I don't know why it does that. Okay, we're gonna call this gradient scale axis control, like that, because that's what this is right here. Okay, that seemed to have fixed it. I increased the maximum value, the float value for the rise, and that fixed the weird like jump that we had. Okay, now let's change the color. Okay, yeah, I like this. They need to have the proper lighting for us to know where the cameras ought to be, you know? Dude, that might be sick. Ah, those shadows are so cool. Ah, it looks all like, dude, that looks so sick. Like he's gonna explode from the amount of light. I might have to turn this light down. As cool as like this looks, because this looks so sick. I'm losing some of the definition with the background. We can still get that cool lighting effect. It just won't be so dramatic. That's still cool. So I want to start with shots of these idols here. So we need a camera that just... I want to make a camera that constantly orbits this right here. Alright, so now we need... Let's add a camera here. So let's go to here. Select. Cursor to selected. Add camera. F2. We're going to rename this camera orbits idols. Okay. Blender is not freaking easy. It's not easy. However, I feel like I have like a slight advantage learning Blender because I'm so familiar with like animation tools. There's a lot of software that I am already familiar with. So it's just the fact, I think the reason Blender's so hard is the amount of math that's involved and like amount of things that are involved in it to get it to work the way that you want. But it's really powerful. I'm wondering if I think I have an alternative solution to this. I'm just going to use just an old method where we have the circle. We're going to say orbit path. Okay, and then we're just gonna parent. Here we go. Snap to vertex. Like that. There. And then I need to parent this to the object. There we go. Yep. Okay, perfect. I can just go here to here. We're gonna animate the Z here. And we're gonna go to graph editor. This will just be easier. And then this object transformation on the Z Euler. We're gonna go to modifiers. We're gonna add a modifier. We're gonna say, I think a generator. That might be too fast. So let's do 0.005, like that. Yeah. There we go. Okay. And then let's bring down the f-stop. I kind of want to lower it. Drop it down. And let's rotate the X so we're looking up. Let's rotate the Z a little bit, get this centered. There we go. That's better. Just endlessly. Whee! I need to make like a cube. Hang on. Let me click this, and click this. And then set cursor to selected. There we go. And then we're going to add an object. Just a small cube. Right there. And we're going to say orbit, focus, cube. And we're going to say don't render. And then we're going to focus on the cube. And now we're gonna hide the cube. Hide. There we go. Okay, now we can go back here. Okay, now we're focused right in the center of them. Should these eyes have a glow to them a little bit? That's pretty cool. Let's mess with the camera angle. I could widen the shot like this. This is perfect right here. You like the wide shot, the wider shot? Okay. You love this. Good. Good. Okay, cool. Let's run with this then. I expand this like this. Okay, and let's rename this camera orbits idles dash orthographic. Okay, let's go to objects here. Rotation. There we go. There we go. Oh, dude. I freaking love orthographic. I pulled the f-stop just a bit so everything's in focus. Maybe zoom out a little bit? What if we rotated the Z just a little bit? Like that. That'd make room for lyrics. Computer crashed. Very cool. Very, very cool. So what we need to do here is we need to expand this. Let's rotate the Z here. Let's go to settings here. Let's increase the scale. Okay, we can go to here. Let's rotate the Z again. Let's also rotate it. Let's look down. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then the path itself, let's raise it up. Okay, we need to look down more. But like a little bit of a tilt is kind of cool. Like, ooh, like that's pretty freaking sick. Hang on, we need to go to our path again. Let's raise it up more, like that. That's pretty sick. I like the tilt. Yeah. Yeah, this is sick. Do 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 do. Okay, this is our tilted orbit. I love it. This is great. Okay, let's get another one. Okay, Control-Alt-0. There we go. Okay. So if we click on the Z distance, and then we go over here, and then bring this down to... There we go. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. Yes. This one's so sick. I gotta stare at this all day. This is so neat. I think I want one more camera. Let's see here. This is wild. This is wild. This is so sick. I think we're good. I think I'm done with this. Isn't that neat? Isn't that neat? We have our camera pan shot. Just a still shot. Camera pan. We got the camera rising. And we got the tilted orbit, which is probably like the coolest shot. I think this is the coolest shot of all. That's just so sick looking. This is the orbit the idle shot. And then we have the camera orbits idles right here. That's sick. We're done. We can move on. Move on. We'll start the next one tomorrow. And that'll be so sick. All right, cool. Tomorrow, track 3. We'll see what we can come up with. Peace out.